Welcome everybody. This is Mr. D from the Farmers Branch Library. How you doing? Today I'm going to have a short little video for you telling you how to make a paper plate puppet. And to show you what I'm talking about, this is my paper plate puppet, Froggy. Say hi, Froggy. Hello. All right, well, let me tell you what you need to make this puppet. You're going to need two big paper plates like this. You're going to need a sheet of paper, and it should be any kind of paper as long as it's something you can color, or you can use colored paper if you're happy with that. You're going to need a pair of scissors, and you're going to need some crayons, and it can be any color you want. So if you want to make exactly like mine, you'll need a green and a red crayon. And you'll need some glue. This could be a glue stick, or it can be a big bottle of glue. All right, so the first step is to grab one of your paper plates, and you're going to bend the paper plate in two. See how I have this? Make sure there's a nice crease here in the middle, okay? And then you're going to take it and you're going to cut the paper plate right up the middle. Okay. And you'll have two pieces of paper plate. And we're going to set those aside for just a minute. All right, and then you'll need another paper plate, same size. And you're also going to fold this paper plate in two. Now, see, sometimes it can be a little difficult to get it to fold the right way. There we go. And make sure you crease it down the middle. All right, so it'll look exactly like this. All right, and then now you're going to take the pieces of paper plate you cut earlier, and you might want to pause the video for a second because you're going to need to grab either a stapler or some tape. And what you're going to want to do is take a piece of paper plate and put it on the inside of the folded paper plate so it covers up that design on the inside. All right, and then you're going to take your stapler and staple it in a few spots so it doesn't come apart. Okay, so see the staples? And then you're going to take your other piece of paper plate and you're going to fold it over the top of the big paper plate that you didn't cut. So see, you should have a little gap like that when you finish putting it on. And to make sure it stays on, you're going to want to staple this one as well. And just a few staples around the edge will do the trick. Okay? And you see, you still have this little gap here. And you can stick your hand in this little gap, and that's how you make your puppet move. Cool, huh? Okay, well now we're going to set this aside for just a second, and you're going to grab that piece of paper I told you to get earlier, and you can draw any kind of eyes you want on here. As you can see, I traced out some eyes right here. So I'm going to cut that out. Okay, so when you cut them out, it's going to look kind of like this. Now you're going to want to put these on top of your paper plate. So you're going to put them down and fold them so that you have a little crease here, see? Yeah. And before we use this, there's one more step you need to do, and that's coloring the little puppet body you made just a few minutes ago. And you can color any color you want. I used green to color the outside and the bottom, and I used red to color the inside of the frog's mouth. And see, this is how mine looks on the inside when it's colored, and this is how it looks on the outside. All right, so now that you have everything colored, it's time to stick your eyes on, and you're going to take the little piece you made earlier, and you're going to glue it on the top so it looks kind of like this, see? And that's why you made that little flat part earlier, so it's easier to glue on there. And once you're done, it's going to look something like this, see? And there's my eyes. Now you can add anything else you want to this puppet, and if you don't want to make a frog puppet, you don't have to. You can make anything you want. Well, this is Mr. D signing off. See you again soon for another craft. Hi everybody, I'm Mr. D, and today we're going to be making another craft courtesy of the library, and this one is just a little simple bunny mask. So let's get started. So you need a couple things. You're going to need a paper plate. It doesn't really matter which size. You're going to need a glue stick, some tape, some crayons, and for myself, I chose the black and the pink. A popsicle stick. Doesn't really matter what size, but big enough to hold and to put on the paper plate so you can hold it up to your face. Something to draw with, pencil, pen, either one works. And we'll need a pair of scissors. Oh, and last but not least, you'll also need a piece of paper. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is take your paper plate and bend it in two, see? And then you're going to want to cut a little slit on each edge of the paper plate, not a little bit far from the edge, like not right on the edge. See how I'm doing here? Okay. And then once you cut into those slits, you're going to use them to cut out, oh, forget it, a little eye so you can see out of it. Okay, so once you cut your eyes out, you'll have a paper plate with a couple eyeballs in it. Okay, now next, what you want to do is go ahead and cut out your ears. And for that, we need to fold our piece of paper in two, and then you can flip it around this way, and you can take your pen or pencil or whatever and draw or trace a simple little ear. And once you have the little ear traced out, you can cut it up. So once you have the ears, they'll look something like this. Yours might be a little bit different. And what you're going to do is go ahead and color those. And what I did for my example was I just colored a little pink on the ear. So when you color a little pink on the ear, it'll look kind of like this. And then you can go ahead and do the other one. Okay. And once you have your ears, you can set them aside for a second and get your paper plate again. And this time you can color a little nose right in the middle between the eyes. So look something like this. And then you'll draw some whiskers in. And you can draw any kind of face you want. This is just an example to kind of show you how it goes. Okay. So when you get done, it'll look somewhat like this. Okay. And then you're going to take your ears and glue them on the back of your paper plate so that the pink part is facing out or towards you or wherever you're facing. So when you glue them on, it'll be just behind the plate. See how I did this one? See, it's glued behind the plate so the pink is showing. Okay? And you'll glue on your other ear. And don't worry too much if you don't match them exactly. That's all right. You might want to press pretty hard so they stay on there. Okay, so see we got our ears on. And the last thing you want to do is take a piece of tape. Okay. And then you're going to use that piece of tape to tape your popsicle stick on the back of your paper plate. So when you tape it on the back, see it's taped right here. So when you flip it around, you can wear your bunny mask and hold it in one hand. And it'll look something like this. All right, well, that's the bunny mask, and that's all we have for today. But join us next time, and we'll have another craft for you. See you later.